everyone, and welcome to another high-low game of Age of Empires today. Mamma mia, we've got the workings of a very spicy meatball as Hera, playing as the Italians in blue, gets ready to take on Heart, playing as the Romans in red. Now, while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. The Italians, a cost-cutting discount civilization. Why pay full price for anything these days? Their university techs are cheaper, advancing to the next age is cheaper, and their gunpowder units are cheaper as well. Now, using all of your saved resources, the Italians can field not one but two unique units. The first, the Genoese crossbowman, is a pretty decent foot archer with a good attack bonus against cavalry. And the second is the Condottiero, a quick-moving, tanky infantry unit with not only a massive attack bonus against gunpowder units, but also certain armor against gunpowder units, although hand cannoneers, not something we're going to see out of the Romans unless the developers have changed the game and the Romans all of a sudden get hand cannoneers. No, they do not. Now, to make their units, their unique units, I should say, their foot archers, and unfortunately, as always, left out of the picture are the skirmishers, so they don't benefit from this. But to make their condottieri, their foot archers, their Genoese crossbowmen all tankier on the field of battle, the Italians can upgrade all of these classes of units to get extra +1/+1 armor. And starting in the Imperial Age, without having to research any upgrade whatsoever, the Italian barracks can start pumping out condottieri as well. Now let's take a look at the top right of the map where we've got Heart playing as the Romans. We'll call them the Proto-Italians. And so we'll see who is the victor in today's future past, back to the future, forward to the past, whatever confusing way you want to word it, battle that we've got for us. But for now, not really a battle, as both players continue expanding and looking for sources of food. Good time for us, as I mentioned. Let's take a look at the Romans, a mixed land-based naval civilization with a few strong unit features that make them incredibly lethal. To start with, their infantry units get double the effect of blacksmith armor upgrades, and they have access to the legionary. This is a tanky, well-armored infantry unit that replaces their two-handed swordsman, and their champions, much like the Persian Savar replaces the Persian paladin, except this one comes with a pretty decent attack bonus, not against archers, but against other infantry units. And to make their infantry even deadlier, well, the Romans can turn to their second unique unit, the Centurion. Once you train this heavy cavalry unit, place it nearby any militia line units, and not only is their movement speed increased, but their attack speed is increased as well. So basically a mini version of a mini Japanese, mini Celt kind of feature once you have your Centurions out on the map, if you decide to go the militia line route. Now, to overwhelm their opponents on the field of battle, the Romans can actually upgrade their entire militia line, their entire knight line, and their Centurions, not only to train 50% faster, but each one of those groups will come with a +5 charge attack similar to the Burgundian Custelier. Now, to back up their army, to provide maybe some soothing backup vocals, the Romans do have access to one of the deadliest scorpions in the game. Not only do these siege units cost a lot less gold, and when I say a lot, I mean it. Think Schlachter privileges that the Poles get, but for scorpions, so only 30 gold, and you don't have to research anything. That happens automatically, but their minimum range is also reduced from 2 to 1, and they can be upgraded to fire much faster. Now, to help a player get to the later stages of the game, maintain the might of the SPQR, or maybe the Roman Empire, if you have leanings towards the Caesars, let's say. Roman villagers gather resources and build and repair structures 5% faster than generic villagers. So those are the two civs we've got. It looks like both players, like ships in the night, have passed each other funny enough, on the same exact attack path. One player didn't go up the right, one player didn't go up the left. They both went into this one little area, which is pretty darn funny. Hera discovering just now where his opponent is. Heart went the wrong way, and we'll discover where his opponent is. Hera already beginning to wall off his base. We'll see what that's for. Are you expecting a massive attack? Do you want to boom and then attack yourself? We'll see what all of this wood is being spent for. For now, skill check incoming with a scout and 3 militiamen. Let's take a look at where Heart's resources are and see whether, like a foot that's going into a reflexology massage, Hera can press on any certain points to increase and decrease blood flow and help, well, let's say not help heal these units, but I guess if reflexology was like an evil reflexology in Bizarro World, to kill the units. Primary, well, not primary berries, but the berries, only berries, pretty yellow lemons with their blue butterflies exposed in the forward position, but a barracks replaced from here to here, which means Heart is going to try to wall on the right side, but kind of exposing the berries here. But does he care? Off of 18 villagers, he's already clicked up to Feudal. Hera still hasn't even clicked up to Feudal, which tells me with 24 villagers, our Italian might be thinking about a fast castle play. Primary stone. Now I can say the word primary stone in the front. Primary gold to the back. Infantry units with a scout and a spearman are being shooed away here. Hera still hasn't clicked up to the Feudal Age. What is our Italian doing at? What are you playing at? Will he get the first kill of the game here? No, this red scout is pretty hale. Good amount of HP on the spearman as well. Hera's units, though, are starting to lose HP here and there. Where are the resources? So he's seen the forward portion. I'm assuming he's seen the stone. He has seen the stone, has not seen the extra gold. We'll take a look at the resource location once this battle clears up. Someone's got to die here, right? I mean, this is not exactly a game of economics where you can out economy your opponent. And there we go. It is Heart who draws first blood. Hera loses his scout, and so with it, the quicker expanding vision. He's going to have to rely on these militiamen who are not Armenian, so their line of sight is not exactly fantastic. Primary gold nice and secure to the back, as is some extra stone and gold off to the side, not really on the attack path, and nowhere close to where Hera is going to be exploring. We saw that third patch of gold down south, and where are the forests? 2 to the rear, 1 off to the side, and the forward portion already starting to get walled off. Playing it very close to the vest is our Roman, who is housed at 30, which kind of sucks to be housed. His TC idle time is growing. Hera moving into the rear right as Heart begins attacking his flank. Let's see, primary gold in the forward position, forming part of the wall off. No surprise then that Hera's mining his secondary gold. Primary stone also forming part of the wall off to the side. And where are your extra resources? Gold and stone, pardon me, excusez-moi, are in the forward position. That kind of sucks here for our Italian, who really only has 1 safe mineral patch to mine. And as Heart tries to bust into his base, let's see how much damage Hera can do here with these 3 militiamen. As I take a very much needed sip of water, which I tried to do before I cast it. Okay, well, there we go. Not too much damage here. We've got 4 villagers with loom, meaning they are going to be able to attack these militiamen. Hera in Feudal finally making no attempt to upgrade these units. Not in the blacksmith, not in the barracks, not with anything really. And so not too sure what he expects to get done here. Wall off, double wall off here to the south. Oh, Hera's just not didn't get the message. You are not wanted here, militiaman. What's the HP? We've got 129 HP on the villagers. We've got 61 HP on the militia. Why are they sticking around here? 2 houses, 108, 148 HP. Should be able to block that for now. I'm curious to see what Hera can do here. I mean, it's Hera. If anyone can micro, it is him. And if anyone can go up to Castle Age at the 14-minute mark of the game, it is him as well. He decides to engage, loses the 2 weaker militiamen. And now we've got ourselves a good old-fashioned militia gangbang. 4 villagers taking on 1. What's the secret code? Orgy. For those of you who watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you will understand that reference. For everyone else, the other 99.99% of people, you just think that I'm a pervert. And you are not too far off the mark here, as Heart kills the entire offensive army of our Italian and presses in. To be fair, Hera is still 1 minute and 15 away from Castle. Heart just needs 300 more food, and he's only training skirmishers and a couple of villagers, so not exactly a very food-intensive build at the moment for our Roman, who must be thinking there's a reason Hera, who is, let's say, known to be aggressive, if you've ever seen a Hera game, why is he walling himself in and kind of sitting here and waiting? And why did I let my scout with 1 HP move forward and give Hera his first kill? Something's happening. I don't know what. And in 17 seconds, Heart is going to discover what, as Hera will make that rattling sound that this game makes when the player hits the next age. To be fair, Heart, suspicious, is starting to wall in his base. There's that rattling sound, and immediately, Bodkin. Okay. Bodkin for the 3 archers in the skirmisher. At the same time that Hera hits castle, Hart clicks up to castle. So Hera's got 2 minutes here. What's he going to do? Military, for now, it's an economic play, adding in Bosa as well. Okay, so not quite as jingoistic as the Roman should be. I mean, I'm trying to think who was more expansionist. Was it the Roman Empire stage or was it the Roman Republic stage? I mean, the Republic pretty much used every excuse they could to nullify every treaty they could, to take up every possible inch of land that they could, whereas the Empire just had no pretense. Hey, you're a barbarian. You can't really govern yourself, so we're going to govern you for you, basically. A government of the people, not exactly for the people. So I'm wondering, historically, if we've got any history nerds in the house, who was the more jingoistic? Was it the Republic stage or was it the Empire stage? Because, again, the Republic stage wasn't exactly a very pacifistic. In any event, 4 kills to 2. Hart, 26 seconds away from being able to plop down almost 2 town centers if he wanted to. He's at the 550. Okay, now he's breached the 550 stone. Wood, pardon me, that you need. Damn you, Gazelle. I knew he was going to kill that Gazelle. Don't ask me how. It just a sense that I had that animal was just not safe anymore. No, it is 1 TC for our Roman, who loses yet another archer. Might lose another one. No, he should be able to escape here as he brings his own skirmishers, and it is an elite skirmisher. So Hera using his uptime advantage to build a second town center and go for blacksmith upgrades, whereas our Roman hits castle, also Bosa, also Bodkin, but he's adding an elite skirmisher, thinking that our Italian is doubling down on archers. Ooh, he is in for a rude awakening because there are only 2 more archers left, and that is the entirety of the Italian army at the moment. They are busy making sculptures, painting ceilings, cooking up delicious varieties of ground meats. And so they don't have time for military right now. By the way, has Hart seen? Yeah, he has seen with the line of sight the internal archery range. Hera, for his part, shockingly, and I say that without sarcasm, this is his line of sight. This is not good line of sight. This is the line of sight that you have if you are eminently confident in your build order and in your ability to control the dynamic of the game and the pace of the game and the direction of the game. Because otherwise you have no clue what's about to hit you, and what's about to hit you is a villager and a big old siege workshop. And so Hera, again, supremely confident that whatever Hart can throw at him, not only can he hold off, but at the same time get his build order up and running. And now he's upgrading only with 4 archers. He's upgrading to crossbowmen. Okay. All right. Definitely not one to second guess what the world's best player is doing, but maybe add in okay, so now he is starting to add in a few more archers. Hard, be careful. Oh, he walked right into that one. Or I should say he reversed right into that one. Hera with another volley. All of a sudden, 4 dead Italian units. 2 more are going to join them in hell on the river Styx here. I should say Romans, not Italians. This is going to be very confusing for me. And the last of the skirmishers. Oh, well, there you go. Just as Hart killed Hera's expeditionary force back here, Hera kills Hart's back here. But that's given our Roman time to get up his own mangonels, and he is going up to 3 to the 2 of Hera's. And he is beginning his siege. Now, traditionally, I ought to say, based on the games we've seen recently, if you really want to take down Hera, you need a lot of aggression everywhere, all at once, and you need to kill villagers early on. Good clipping of AHP there. This is not the way to do it. Busting in through the front with absolutely no follow-up. I don't see knights. I don't see light cav. I don't see any units here. They're over here, and they're skirmishers of all things. There's no follow-up to this. So Hart breaks the house, breaks the palisades. Now he's standing there scratching his head, thinking, what should I do now? And to him, the answer was, I'm going to add in a 3rd TC, and I'm going to boom economically, and I'm going to try to just go bonkers with my economy. Maybe rush up to Imperial, which against the Italian is tough. like the Byzantines, it's always like the sword of Damocles hanging over your head. Will they hit Imperial before me? Because, well, I mean, the Byzantines pay only 2/3 of the cost. The Italians only pay 85%. They get a 15% discount. Like I said, why pay retail when you can pay wholesale? And it looks like a few more skirmishers died here to the bottom left. Those ones we saw earlier. This is not a game plan to beat Hera. He's ahead 1 villager, even though he's down 1 TC. And, ooh, okay, luckily he repaired his mangonel. Army counts identical. Villager populations very identical. Hera's getting husbandry. Okay, he's gone knights. But suspecting that knights are the gameplay, Heart, a few steps ahead, has already begun training monks. A pair of them. And a pair of monks in Age of Empires always beats a single knight. We'll see if it beats 6 knights and a bunch of crossbowmen, which I'm assuming Hera is going to shove in right here. First, and then followed up with the knights. Where are the knights, by the way? Okay, they're just running around here. And again, as powerful as this army is for our Roman, as destructive as it is in terms of infrastructure, so far, has it really accomplished very much? I'm not too sure. But if the name of the game again is I'm going to build a bigger eco than you, then mission accomplished so far, because Heart is expanding mightily and he is now ahead 3 villagers, even though he's beginning to fall behind an army count. And here we go, the knights. Where you going? Sneaky, sneaky. Oh, they're going to run into this villager. That's so sour. That is incredibly sour. So Hera presses in on the right. Hera presses in on the left with a bit of a weaker force. Single mangonel and crossbowmen. Oh, and he almost lost his mangonel. Villager falls, and in come the knights. Where the hell are the monks? There they are. Good attack round out of Heart. Unfortunately, these knights have bloodlines. 2 conversions, that's about as good as you can expect with only 2 monks. And one of the monks actually survives. Unfortunately, none of the mangonel survived, and Hera sweeps over this position. Heart focusing too much on the destruction aspect of this forward push. Possibly should have been focusing more on the buildup of his own armaments and his army, because skirmishers are going to be fantastic against these crossbowmen. But the knights, yeah, you're not making out of this alive. And now the knights, 2 of them turn around. Yeah, I don't see a single skirmisher making it home. Okay, never mind. These 2 have 50 HP. Will the knights continue to chase? I mean, there is an alley here. It is a dead end alley because at one end is an opening. On the other end is death via town center. Okay, so Hera pushes in as far as he can. And now it's Heart's turn to have his buildings destroyed. Gets another conversion. That's fantastic. Relic right in front. But that's it. There's no more gas in the Roman car. Monk gets surrounded. Whack, 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 and dies. And that's it. Heart is training his own units. Now, to be fair, in a 1v1, once we hit Imperial, if we're lucky enough, where are you, Committed Tenses? Committed Tenses will give the Roman Knights a 5 charge attack, whereas the Italian Knight, nothing particularly special about the Italian Knight, although having access to all of the upgrades, both in the stable and in the blacksmith, makes it a fantastically serviceable good knight. Having a +5 charge attack definitely does make the red knight better than blue knight, but for now we are nowhere close to Imperial. Well, Hera's kind of starting to go up to a food count. You need 850 food, 680 gold. And here we go, our Roman, who is housed again because he just keeps losing these houses in the center, is moving forward. 22 army count to 21, 98 villagers to 97. Heart has 1 more unit economically, 1 more unit militarily. How will he use his advantage? That's about to change with a conversion, possibly. The skirmishers want to close in on the monks. No, they're going after the crossbowmen. Nope, they're going after the monk, who pops into the town center, saves himself. Upgrades very much in favor of Hera. +1 attack to the 0 attack of his opponent. 2 armor to 2 armor. And he's going to have iron casting with a +2 attack in a second. Heart's going to want to back the hell away from here. To be fair, his skirmishers have served their purpose. All of the crossbows are dead. I would have maybe thought he was going to sacrifice them to kill the monk, But for now, they are just returning home. We've got 19 blue knights. We've got 10 red knights. And the blue knights are better. Forging finally coming in for Heart. With his defender's advantage, he can pump out units quicker, but will he be able to get the quantity that he needs? His army supply is down to 9. He's down 9 villagers now. 12 army count, but he's trying to lure Hera into Death Alley. He's trying to lure Hera into Death Alley, but he lures him, but doesn't garrison the villagers. Way too late. Way too late, and here we go. Happy with how things are going. Our Italian is moving forward with a big castle that doesn't really lame anything, except gives him an opportunity to steal a little bit of stone. Italian knights, one of them basically dead, are chasing out into the middle of nowhere. Pardon me, Roman knights. I told you it was going to be difficult for me. Roman knights, seeing the castle go up, he might want to scout how many villagers there are here, just to see how much of a reaction he should be putting into this. And okay, oh my goodness, he came in from the south. Are you kidding me? 1 monk is enough to shoo away 10 knights. Man, the players are just so possessive of their units. Unfortunately, even if those knights had charged in, they would not be doing very much as this castle is up. By the way, Hera has enough stone, having bought 200 more for another castle. And a gentleman does not buy stone in Age of Empires right after plopping down 1 castle without immediately plopping down a second. And that is exactly what our Italian is doing. And by the way, our Italian is getting a little shafted here. 9 red units are distracting 28 of his, which is giving Heart an opportunity to bring a more sizable force to bear on the front. So fantastic move by Heart to distract his opponent. Unfortunately, now the Genoese crossbowmen are out. Plus 5 attack bonus against cavalry. And who's getting who? The bigger threat is this castle. And I love this maneuver from Heart. He rolled the dice. Hera chased when he probably shouldn't have been chasing. And now the knight count stands at 30 to 27. If we wanted to, we would see a big old battle. Unfortunately for Heart, Hera is 2 minutes away from Imperial. Ouch. And once you're an Imperial, remember Italian gunpowder units are all 20% cheaper, I believe. And the techs to get them, by the way, chemistry also 33% cheaper. And Heart is trying to do the same thing. Hera's trying to block him in. Hera does block him in with a gate. I mean, did you need a gate here? This 2x2 part of the town center is not accessible to units. Not sure that secondary gate was necessary, but it was certainly freaking cool. Heart is losing units. Hera's losing villagers. But he's at 149. Heart takes the fight. Couple of light cap being added. Hera realizes, hey, your base is not walled in at all. And just like MBL before you, you will fall to the might of my lighter cavalry as I start raiding the ever-loving hell out of you. And again, superior numbers here to the front for our Roman, who has pushed back the Italian. No, never mind, just a tactical retreat so he can gather some wood. But 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're an Imperial, and immediate Cavalier is going to pop out. And once Cavalier pops out and Trebs pop... Okay, well, there you go. Once Cavalier comes out, once Trebs come out, I mean, you've got a counter to cavalry right here, so there's not much that you're... Where the hell even are your knights? They're all the way back here. Oh, look at their HP. Mamma mia. Talk about Mamma mia. 470 HP down. By the way, this engagement down here, atrocious, running through a choke point. Only 2 knights surviving for our Roman, and Hera with the Imperial Age GG strategy beats out the Roman, and the New Age Roman beats the Old Age Roman, or maybe the future, or no, the, what am I trying to say? I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. The point is, Heart fell behind, and like I said earlier, if you're going to destroy Hera, it seems like the only way to do it is constant pressure right from the beginning, villager snipes right from the beginning. It is not a, I'm going to set siege, lay siege to a couple of houses and palisade walls. That is definitely not how to do it, because behind it, Hera will expand into whatever direction he needs to get his economy up and running to whatever he wants it to be, so that he can start pumping out 27 knights, 8 Genoese. Did the Genoese actually perform this game? Let's see how many kills they have. Okay, 5 kills. Nah, 2 or 3 of them are eco. So he did only kill 2 I'm assuming knights because Roman pretty much didn't train anything. I don't even know where the hell these two skirmishers are. Okay, they're like the knights back here, scared of the double castle. Double castle means double treb, even though Hera still needs a bit more wood for a second treb. But even without the treb, he's got the resources for cavaliers now, or at least the upgrade for the cavaliers, especially as the Italian, no, pardon me, they don't get the discount. I don't know why I thought they were Burgundians for a second with their stable tech discounts. No, he's paying the full 300 if I'm not mistaken. But he does have the resources for that. And Hart just didn't do the damage. He didn't do the damage that we know needs to be done to the current greatest player in the world. And to be fair, we've seen some players do that damage. But in this particular game, Hart just did not, even though he had a good amount of momentum, just wasn't able to seal the deal. 40 knights to 51. Interesting. To be fair, Hart did pull some fancy maneuvers here. I'm not going to lie. Distracting triple your opponent's army size with your army, 9 to 26 or whatever it was, is a fantastic move. Did allow him to put some more pressure to bear in the front, but Hera, with a second castle, there's literally no pressure that knights can put on right now. Because even with 120 HP, even with 4 pierce armor, you're not designed to really take on a castle. You are not that tanky. You do not have that much HP that the constant over and over repeat arrow fire, especially from a castle here that looks like it might be on the high ground, maybe not. Yeah, knights are just not great. They're not great against town centers, and they're definitely not great against castles. And even though Hart had the army here is pretty much dead. And unfortunately, he did manage to kill a few villagers along the way. So it was he was here for a good time, not a long time. But unfortunately, it was just not enough. Crossbows to skirmishers, fancy schmancy crossbows to basic archers. So Hart went really doubling down on knights. And again, he did train 11 more in a 1v1. I think even missing iron casting to your opponent's iron casting, 51 should beat out 40, assuming no high ground or anything like that. Peak APM for Hera about 10 minutes ago. Peak APM about 20 minutes ago. So different times of the game for the players. Economies pretty much identical. If you remove the 2 relics that Hera got very recently, it's pretty much 2.5% bigger economy. So what does he have? He has a little bit more food, a lot more stone, but he's down gold, and wood is identical. So gold, there you go. And again, our Italian, it's like the Byzantine. You just never know when the hell they're going to hit Imperial because it's cheaper for them. And so you always have to kind of have that, like what are those little field mice at night? Yeah, have you ever watched those National Geographic documentaries where it talks about like some of the most stressed out animals in the world, and there are those little mice with those ears that are the size of their entire body, because the second they're nocturnal, so the second they come out at night, literally everything wants to eat and kill them. Every snake, every owl, every bird, every tree, every bush, every insect wants to kill them. That's how you have to be when you're playing against the Byzantines and against the Italians when it comes to going up to Imperial. You just have to be so paranoid. And Hart was just not paranoid enough, keeping his army pretty much back a lot of the game. And Hera just did what Hera does, which is take a little bit of damage, nothing too crazy, take out his mangonels when he needed to. With 1 unit, he countered like 8 of his opponents. In the meantime, expand backwards. And if your opponent presses to the left, expand to the right. If your opponent presses on the right, expand to the left. So when Hart pressed in the front, Hera expanded to the rear. And with that expansion, takes the W with 8 villager kills each, but 85 kills to 46. Our Italian just rushes to castle, meanders his way a little bit slower to Imperial, and hits the good old-fashioned Imperial into GG strategy. But really a fun game of knights versus knights here. They were running around, were battling each other, and even though Hart had the bigger numbers, I don't think they were really clumped ever. Oh, pardon me, there's a third one in here, my bad. I don't think they were ever really clumped into one kind of mass battle formation, so we didn't get to see a huge knight versus knight battle, but we got to see some cool mango play. We got to see some knight versus knight action did occur, and unfortunately for our Roman, the more modern Mediterranean army of the Italians wins out, and Hera takes the W, but GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.